Guys, we're back on the desert road. Today, we're gonna talk a little bit about the X5 and what's happening. It's actually a fairly sad day for me because it's coming up on the end of the ownership here for this car. It's been 6 months. I've driven just around 4,000 miles. I'm gonna give you a brief update on the ownership experience, any issues that I had with her, and the pros and the cons I discovered after driving this for quite a while with my family. So we'll get into all that in a second. 6 months in, I'm getting a very special car. Let's see if any of you can guess what we're going to. It's still a family car. It took me quite a bit of convincing to see if I can get into a car like that with a family and have it be usable day to day. I'm gonna try it out. I'm very excited. That car should be arriving today, and this is gonna be on its way out shortly. So let's go inside for a drive. I'll update you on everything that I think about her after 6 months. Okay, before we jump inside, just a quick update. I kept this car fairly stock, didn't do much. I tinted the front windows, and then the only change I did is I dropped the wheel size from 22 inches down to 20-inch wheels. I powder coated these wheels in black. These are the factory BMW 20-inch 740M wheels with an all-season tire. The 22-inch wheels came with a high-performance summer tire, and I was planning on taking this car up north. It was probably gonna see some snow, so I dropped the size down. It gave it a slightly better ride quality, lower overall road noise, and they look, I think, just about as good, maybe even better than the 22s, just because it's got that extra tire. It gives it that beefier SUV look on here. So that's the only changes. Outside of that, I still really like this spec in this Dravid gray. I think it's a phenomenal color, especially in an SUV. Just looks beautiful all around. If you want to see the full review, we did a full review on this car. Look at the link below. We hooked that up for you. Let's go on a drive. Guys, before we get into the rest of my final thoughts, I'd like to let you know I'm moving into my third daily driver in under 12 months. That would not be possible without using some of the tactics we teach you in the Rule of Cars. If you want to find out more, click the link below and we'll see you there. All right, we're taking the M50i on a little drive. We're going to summarize what I think about her. Quick rundown of some of the unexpected surprises and just an overall recap. The miles per gallon on here actually is much better than I initially thought. I dropped down to the 20-inch wheels. You drive this in Eco Pro mode and do mostly city driving. I've been able to eke out around 17 miles per gallon, which I think is pretty good for all the power. If I want to have some fun, throw it in sport mode, obviously. It gets a little bit worse. Overall, it's impressed me for a car of this size and have to get 17 miles per gallon driving around the city. So overall, I'm fairly impressed. All right, from the reliability standpoint, I haven't had any issues with this car outside of a small lane keep assist module going out as part of the steering wheel. I got that replaced under warranty. Outside of that, no error messages, no low oil. I haven't had to do anything with that. Just one oil change in this car, and that's about it. The other thing I'd like to note that impressed me with this BMW is just the build quality. There's no creaks or rattles for me anywhere in the cabin. Going over bumps, taking turns, I haven't heard a single flex or a panel creak in here. So again, fairly impressed with that compared to some other BMWs and German cars of prior and what some of that build quality has been like. Overall, this is an excellent car. Just, it combines usability, great daily driver, it's got enough power. It's a solid blend for that enthusiast who wants a little bit of fun day to day, but is still needing to haul the family around. This is, to me, a more perfect blend than even the full-on X5M, which I thought was a bit too harsh and just too stiff for all in all daily driving. This is just such a good blend and a perfect balance in a car like this. All right, so the biggest cons that I came up with, again, it's tough to nitpick. I mean, they refined this car to no end. It's probably one of BMW's best sellers. But if I had to nitpick, my number one complaint with this would just be the overall noise intrusion from the outside into this car. these windows are not as insulated as other cars that I had. No dual pane windows are available. So if you're sitting at a light or you're on the freeway and your AC is turned down, you don't have any other kind of sound coming in, you do hear quite a bit of outside noise in here, which is surprising for a car this stature, costing nearly 6 figures. On top of that, I had the 22-inch wheels on here with the summer performance tires, and you do get quite a bit of, it's not even so much road noise, it's just there's this constant hum that you hear that definitely went away as soon as I downgraded the wheels to 20-inch wheels. If that's a concern for you, just think about that, especially on worser road surfaces or uneven road surfaces. The 22-inch wheels definitely picked up way more sound into this cabin. So that, combined with the outside noise coming in, definitely does not put this at a very quiet car for day-to-day driving for me. So something for you guys to consider. Number 2 nitpick is the rear seat space is fairly tight on here, especially if you have small children with rear-facing seats. It works for me. I'm on the shorter side. I'm able to move up a bit. I'm able to squeeze in 2 children back there. But if you need more room, definitely step up in car size is the way to go to probably something like an X7. It didn't bother me enough. I made it work. It's not a big enough deal, and you definitely get a bigger trunk on here because of that. So where this car sacrificed, the X5 is in the rear seat space. So just again, a minor gripe, but able to make it work with 2 small children. And last point, again, gonna nitpick a bit here, but living in Arizona, having this car, receiving this right before summertime hit with the AC running here, basically year round, especially in the summertime, more so, the AC on here is probably one of the worst in the modern cars I had. To get like a sufficient amount of air, you pretty much need this turned up to a 10. And even with that, it gets very, very loud blowing that AC. So it's able to cool the cabin down, but it's not the most impressive AC I've had from various cars. So that about wraps up our X5 summary. Again, I urge you guys to take a guess on what is coming next to replace this. It's a very special car for me. I hope I'm able to use it with my family. It might stay here for longer than 6 months, like my 2 previous cars did. So go ahead, take your stab below, and I'll let you know if you guys are close. And that video is coming up very soon on that release, as that car is set to arrive either today or tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap of this X5. Till next time on the desert road.